Okay, getting the first pick. Oh, get three, Pyro, get three with the
Blade Kick putting on a clinic. Whole team's down. Oh!
Experience tranquility.
Hello everyone, welcome to the North American Community Championship. We're starting here on the Tranquility Twitch channel, and I'm here with HB Bowsy. How are you doing, sir? Are you excited for some great Overwatch action?
Oh man, Joker, I am very excited for amazing Overwatch action. We compiled some of the best teams across 4 tournaments, brought them together under one roof for one amazing tournament bracket. It is going to be an absolute stellar show, and I cannot wait for some high-quality Overwatch.
Yeah, we're starting out tonight with Delirium versus Paradise Tempest. Then we're going to Hayden Overwatch team versus the other team, which is Reminiscence. I forgot what the full name was, so I was checking that. But Reminiscence versus Hayden Overwatch team is going to be right after this. But we're starting out with Delirium versus Paradise Tempest. And, well, I have a pretty good... We both have pretty good first-hand experience with both of these teams. I was the one casting them in their GGNA finals. And they were also in Tranquility team. So we both know them pretty well.
Yeah, Paradise Tempest, formerly known as Paradise Lost. So if you hear me saying Paradise Lost, I mean Paradise Tempest. They originally were in Tranquility for Season 7, but they also were in Geek Good North America, where they were the Season 8 champions for the, I believe it was the Intermediate Division.
Yep.
Intermediate Division, yes, I've gotten confirmation about that. But yes, Paradise Tempest do have a lot of titles under the belt. They are a really successful team. They weren't able to get the Tranquility Championship, but don't underestimate them. They are a force to be reckoned with. And of course, you have experience with Delirium from UGC as well.
No, I have never casted them before. I am not
Okay.
a UGC caster. Well, let's clear that air. Clear the air up. I'm going in blind to this team, but I'm still excited. They're probably one of the better teams from UGC, and it's gonna be a great matchup. And we're gonna be starting here out on Busan. Busan, one of a lot of people's favorite maps. A lot of people say it's the perfect control map because you can see so many different compositions. And speaking of which, we've actually had that patch a couple weeks back. The first patch in 6 months, it felt like. What are we expecting here, Bowsy, from either of these two teams thanks to that patch drop?
I mean, the most likely outcome is you're probably going to be seeing a lot more Hanzo in these matches. Hanzo did have a small buff with the Storm Arrow, but it does give a good quality of life. I don't really think we see many changes outside of that. Maybe more Moira rollouts in the backline, like DPS Moira plays. But outside of that, really all those changes were really for quality of life. Not really meant to change up the meta in any sort of way, but who knows? It could be a potential that we could see changes throughout the meta field. So we'll see what the move is from each of these teams, and we're going to get into Busan fairly quickly here, but it's going to be interesting to see what the teams pull out for each of the 3 maps of Busan and which team's going to be able to come out on top, Delirium or Paradise Tempest.
It's definitely going to be interesting. It's going to be really fun to see, especially where we're going to be starting out here. And we're going to be starting down at downtown of Busan here. And, well, a lot of different compositions can be run here. We can see Brawl, we can see Dive, we could see a 6-man composition. What are you expecting from these teams as we load into the game now?
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. This map of Busan Downtown usually allows for multiple different compositions. It can allow for a Shadow Dive, Brawl, Double Shield even. it's really a mix-all map that you can run pretty much anything on, so it'll be interesting to see what the teams decide to pull out here. Right now, on the side of Paradise Tempest, they're showing the sort of six-man dive composition. Meanwhile, on the side of Delirium, looks like they're just debating on what to do, but it looks like they will also be coming out with that six-man dive composition. The Winston, the Diva, the Reaper, the Sombra, the Lucio, and the Moira. Simple, standard, stock standard here for Busan Downtown as we're about to open the spawn doors here and get ready to start the NACC here for ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I was really thinking Delirium had that big branch threat for a second, seeing that Torbjorn, but not going to be anything, as we're going to see these two teams dueling it out in this small room to start things off. Not what you normally see when you're seeing these two compositions go out and about against each other, but a lot of damage is coming down. Hawk is super low, but still going to keep it up, staying alive thanks to Ira on that Moira. Like we were saying, Moira getting a lot of rework with that movement ability now, but nothing's really doing. No one's got the upper hand, but Marshall starting things off. Got the Coalescence out, and that's going to push a lot of objective as Marshall takes down Ira, but a turn back. Azakari takes down Jesus on that monkey. That's Blossom out as well from Hawk as the side of Paradise Tempest looks to have won this first fight, and we'll get this first capture percentage of NACC.
What a good move there by Paradise Tempest, taking their time. They had the health pack room control, meaning that Delirium, even if they had the health pack, they weren't able to really push into that room and be able to sustain a bit. So now, Paradise Tempest, they will get the first cap here. They did, however, use a lot of big ults, that Death Blossom being one of them, but they do have some ults building up. Six-man dive does allow for a lot of fast ult charges, and we might be seeing an early one come out here from the side of Delirium.
Yeah, speaking of an early one, there goes an EMP connecting to find people there. That's going to be a nice, easy fight win because Ira has got two with the Coalescence, and that's all they need in the end. They still got ultimates to spare here, Bowsies.
Yeah, definitely. But on the other side of Delirium, you do have a lot of good ults coming out as well. They have all the five of six of their ults. They obviously made a dry push there, but didn't use any ults when they saw the EMP come out, so good move there by Delirium. So now they got to try to engage here, but again, there are big ults on the side of Paradise Tempest. It all depends on how these ults are used, and that's going to be a big.
Oh, and it's a massive EMP indeed, as Mr. S gets the Death Blossom 3K, but Azakari does take down Marshall, but it's definitely not going to be enough. There's just so much damage coming out from the side of Delirium there, as Mr. S finishes things off with the final blow onto Culture.
Great synergy there from Delirium using that AMP and Death Blossom in synergy. And also good move by Culture there to just not invest the Diva Bomb despite him having it. So now, Paradise Tempest, they still have that Diva Bomb in reserve, and they're just about to build up another EMP and Death Blossom for this next fight. They're going to once again take control of this health pack room, which is really good. Makes it so they have that sustainability. Now the move comes in from Delirium, however, straight to...
And there goes the Coalescence and the Primal Rage coming out from Delirium. They've won this fight thanks to some more incredible plays coming in from Mr. S on this Reaper. The clean up follows through as Delirium looking strong now with that point control.
Really good dive in by Delirium to be able to separate the members of Paradise Tempest. But Tempest, they are building up more of their ults here. Delirium trying to build up some of theirs, but all they have is this beat from Donleo online right now. So we'll see if there's any sort of move here from Delirium, and if Paradise Tempest is able to take advantage of that. There's Sombra's probably in the back line, looking for that perfect opportunity loss here. See if he's able to make any sort of move as Bush is about to come in here from the side of Paradise Tempest. 3, 2, 1.
There's the EMP does connect to 3, but a nice play coming in from De Niro. Take with that sound there, keeping people all healthy and alive as Mr. S does get another one, but it's still trading out anyone's game right now. But Culture is on this point, taking down Jesus, and that is a fighting win for the side of Paradise Tempest, as they finally get this point control back into their favor.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I think taking down Jesus is something you can put in your resume in the future. But regardless, good move there by Paradise Tempest. They had a really good setup and engage. They didn't use a lot of ults. Only the Primal Rage, Death Blossom, and EMP were infested into that. And they still have ults to spare for this next fight. So, Dylan and Delirium, they're in a little bit of a tight situation here. 83% of the control point. Delirium's just going to go straight to the point to try and contest.
Well, the self-destruct is out, and it's gonna get a flip there from the side of Delirium. The Coalescence out from Ira. It's gonna try to top up a lot of their players, and now there's 2 picks going for the favor of Paradise Tempest. This should be all they need to win this fight out again, but that flip over from Delirium was huge there.
Absolutely, Delirium and now brought it up to 91% in their favor, so now they have one fight territory for both sides here to try and win this. Delirium, however, they need to try and get into this point fast, or else they're not going to be able to get any sort of chance to win this. They do have a CMP online, and here it comes online once again.
And not get connected. That's going to be a huge sound barrier coming out from the Lucio right there. And following up, EMP is going to be massive. Coming in from Lars. Connects to all six. And all six go down. As the side of Paradise Tempest should win this out. As everything cleans up on point. They do take down Azukari, and Filed does get another one with that remake. However, I might have spoken too soon, but no, it's not enough as File gets taken down as Paradise Tempest take round one of Busan.
Beautiful, beautiful plays coming out from Paradise Tempest. The patience to be able to make sure everything went well, and a 6-man EMP coming out from Lush there at the end. Amazing stuff coming out from Paradise Tempest, and they will be taking Busan downtown. Now we move over to Mecha Base. A lot more closed in, a lot more room for sort of like mismatching scenarios, stuff that could be, you know, considered weird. Paradise Tempest already showing a very weird composition with the Orisa Ball and Spawn. We'll see if they decide to stick out on this, but it's gonna be interesting heading in here to heading into Busan Mecha Base, because everything is closed in, everything is different. There aren't a lot of opportunities to boop off, and okay, we're just going to be seeing a lot of nonsense in general from both of these teams. Definitely some interesting strats all around, but we'll see if it's able to work.
We're on Mecha Base and we're not seeing Rush. What's going on here? We're going to be starting things off. Taking this high ground here is File there. But Francesco going to take down Lars with a nice shot coming through on this Hanzo. Hanzo we were talking about with that change recently. Look for that Storm Arrows to be a bigger difference going forward here as Bidisuch Culture trying to get some space, but it's not really gonna be pretty hard with Mr. S on this Torbjorn. That anti-dive composition that the side of Delirium is running with Lars takes down Marshall. This could be enough to win them this fight out as Lars with 2, and that looks like the cookie has crumbled down toward the side of Delirium as all the kills filling up for Paradise Tempest.
Lars definitely showing how well he is on this app right now, doing a lot of value. This was definitely one of his stellar picks over in Tranquility, and maybe also in Get Good North America. So showing his worth here, especially on Busan Mecha Base, and now Paradise Tempest will have control of this. 16% went in the favor of Delirium here, so there still is an opportunity for them to try to push in, but they don't have a lot of ult percentage building up here. So we'll see what the move is here from Delirium. They obviously want to try to take this balcony to get that high ground control, but at what cost?
No. Laj with the volley, taking down Yeezus on the Orisa. You're not going to be able to push in any longer as we see the side of Delirium backing up and regrouping.
Yeah, Delirium just back out of that fight immediately once they lost those 2 picks, so now they're trying to get themselves sorted once again. And now Paradise Tempest, they're even building up their ult bank even more here, so it's going to be a little bit harder here for Delirium to try to push in, but we'll see if they're able to do it. Culture, however, in the back line, looking for that mine engage, and that's exactly what he's going to do here.
Yeah, doesn't drop the mine. Just some nice roll through. There comes the window out, and it's a nice move coming out from Culture, disrupting the squad of Delirium for the time being. They're not getting any good value with that amplification matrix. It's huge. Core is on the point, but it's a little too late. It's all red in the kill feed already. It seems to be a fight win for the side of Paradise Tempest yet again. Bio does take down Culture, but it's just a little too late.
Yeah, Wrecking Ball definitely the ultimate distractor in any sort of composition that he's utilized in, and really I think that's what Paradise Tempest are excelling in right now. Culture's in the backline, distracting the rest of the team, and then Lars, Hawk, Azukari, and Blanche get the rest of the job done with all their sort of picks and mechanical skills. So that's how Paradise Tempest is working out here, and now with Mr. S switching over to that Genji, and now last fight territory here for Delirium to try and cap this point, and they're already looking very rough.
Yeah, the Bob coming out as well as the oh my goodness, the Orisa ultimate as well for both squads out on the board. But it's still all Paradise Tempest right now. Only Mr. S getting 1 pick. They might almost gave up the point for a time being, but it's just Francesco left on this Hanzo as the wick burns down as Paradise Tempest take map 1.
Beautiful performance there from Paradise Tempest, showing a little bit close there on Busan Downtown, but able to swing it back in their favor when it came to Busan Mecha Base. Hawk will get the play of the game here on that Reaper. Most likely this downtown performance. Yep, that first Death Blossom in the match. Definitely a really good performance from Hawk. And the rest of Paradise Tempest in general, they're showing that this is why they won Get Good North America Season 8. They are a competent team that can wrestle with the best, and they're showing that up against Delirium here. So it's going to be interesting to see how Delirium adapts here as they get to choose the next map, which is Escort now.
Yeah, Escort going to be the next map of choice, and our maps of choice tonight are Dorado, Gibraltar, and Rialto. If you were Delirium right now, we didn't really see much, but we saw maybe enough for you to give a prediction of where we're going to be heading if you were the side of Delirium right now.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I feel like Delirium need to try and adapt to the sort of distraction play style that we saw Paradise Tempest doing. When they were in the mirror matchup, Delirium didn't look terrible. They just needed to clutch out in the right moments, which they were unfortunately able to do. But when they were up against that Orisa Ball, they kind of fell apart. I feel like there were too many people focusing on that Wrecking Ball composition, and that just caused the rest of Paradise Tempest to pile right on them. That is how Paradise Tempest does this. They have this weird style where they adapt a dive tanks into a spam-based composition. So if you are Delirium, you have to identify when this spam-based composition is coming out and be able to counter it as a team. So we'll see if they're able to do that. So if I had to guess their map choice, it's kind of hard because Dorado, Rialto, and Gibraltar are definitely really hard to think about a style that can counter a spam style with dive tanks, because that's really the style that I know Paradise Tempest for. So we'll see what the move is for them on these next maps. What would you think the best map choice is? Because I can't.
If we saw, maybe if we went to Shrine of Busan and you might have saw like a Farah or an Echo, I would have said Rialto was probably the best bet. But we did see that six-man composition coming out from both of these squads, and Delirium specifically looking a lot stronger on it. I'd say Dorado because of those options to be able to use effectively run the dive tanks. But it's really up in the air with what because you could also pick Gibraltar for that. Gibraltar having all those high grounds specifically on those first 2 points. It's just anyone's game, but we're gonna be heading down to Dorado here, which, I mean, hey, I was kind of right. That was my first choice for their first choice for them. But Dorado, like I was saying, high ground. You need to take control of it if you want to keep pushing forward. If you are Delirium.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Delirium pulls out here on Dorado. Dorado does favor itself a little bit to Farah. So you were talking about that Farah composition. I think no matter what, either of these three maps are going to be favored for a Farah. Rialto probably the least likely of them. But it's going to be interesting to see what the play is here for Delirium, especially coming into map number 2. And also, we are just seeing what side Paradise Tempest wants, attack or defense first, which we do allow swapping of the sides here. So please pay respects to our producers if they don't get the sides right, because it's going to be a mess. They've decided to attack first, so thankfully our producer is saved for now. So we're going to see what the move is from Paradise Tempest. They will begin the attack first here on Dorado. We also have a swap coming in for the side of Delirium. We're going to be seeing Milke coming in for Jesus. So, I mean, Jesus definitely did have some good plays there on the tank roll, but obviously they have a sort of strategy coming into this next map, so we'll see what that strategy is the move for us. So we'll see what happens here as we enter into Dorado very soon.
Yeah, definitely. I did. Jesus was a little bit over aggressive for my taste, but with the composition that they were running, I get that. But especially with the 6-man, but it'll be interesting to see how this changes the side of Delirium, to see if they're more controlled or together, or is it gonna just mess everything up even more?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Obviously, aggression can play into that sort of control style. Like if you have a very aggressive main tank player and you happen to be pushing into the team, that it could provide the most resources possible. So that probably might be swapped out here. Maybe they want to play a less aggressive style. So we'll see what the move is here for Delirium. We are waiting. One of the teams has not readied up yet, but once we are ready, we'll be getting into the map of Dorado. Paradise Tempest will be on the attack first. Delirium will be on the defense once we get in. So we'll have to see what the move is here, but without even seeing any sort of compositions, without seeing any of that stuff, give me a prediction. What hero do you think we're going to be seeing most predominant on Dorado here?
Well, it really depends on what tanks we're going to be seeing. I'd probably say more of that Hanzo yet again, just because of how nice Storm Arrows are now. But we're probably just gonna be seeing more BAP. That's a for sure thing. If you're not playing BAP, you're kind of throwing or Moira at this moment because of that change. But whatever you feel comfortable mostly on is most likely, more than likely, not the better choice, as we're gonna be seeing people coming out right now here, Bowsy.
Yep, and as you said, Hanzo and Baptiste are available on the side of Delirium. They're running the Cassidy, Hanzo, Orisa, Sigma, Baptiste break. So basically a double shield composition with a lot of anti-dive mechanics, mainly meant for long-range play. So we'll see if that plays into their favor. Hawk ended up hurting himself on the Pharah just to bait out the enemy team. But as I talked about, as you can see, Culture was on the ball, showing it a little bit, but it looks like he will be playing the Diva. But really, for the most part, Paradise Tempest are going to be sticking with this Ashe, but they're switching Hawk over to the Genji here, so obviously want a little bit more Nanoblade, especially with this Ana. Nanoblade is a really good win con, and we'll see if it plays into their advantages. Already, how Lars almost gets a pick off on the stress.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see. Culture now swapping over to this Wrecking Ball. That was a lot of... they see that being played a lot from Paradise Tempest during GGNA. Doesn't work out well for them, getting a lot of disruption. But Marshall's going to start things off, taking down Azukari. It's going to be very difficult for this side of Paradise Tempest to really push without that main tank.
Absolutely, and the main thing that Paradise Tempest are trying to do, Culture obviously is in the back line, he's waiting for the right opportunity. I talked about this on last map. What Paradise Tempest like to do is they like to have two main tanks, both dive main tanks, Ball and Winston, have the Ball dive in to try and cause a distraction, and the Winston also dive in, and then have the DPS play a damn tile. Obviously, not working as both main tanks are currently dead, and Paradise Tempest are having to reset, so... it's kind of rough here, unfortunately, for Paradise Tempest, but eventually they will get the gears turning, and already they're making a change. Culture switching back over to the Diva, now switching over to a Sigma, so we'll see if this makes any sort of change, and sure enough, full wholesale swaps coming out from the side of Paradise Tempest. Now they're on this double shield composition themselves.
Yeah, it looks like Delirium might have done some homework on this squad right now, because, well, they're not playing what they like to play, and that is huge if you are Delirium, getting them out of their comfort zone. But Hawk starting things off with a nice pick on to Marshall. Mr. S trying to turn it back, does take down Lars, but that's going to be a lot of healing gone for the side of Delirium, as the side of Paradise Tempest can keep pushing forward, and getting through this archway is going to be huge. The Dragon Strike coming out here from Mr. S does not find anyone, just a little bit of a separation play coming out, but nothing really doing right now. Just I say that Francesco taking down Blanche on that Zen, that is huge. No more Discord Orb, as File taking a nice angle from the back, trying to get some damage down as the side of Delirium, getting all the picks necessary to finally get this cart stopped yet again.
Beautiful patience there from Delirium, just waiting for the right opportunity, and File with the amazing flank into the backline, being able to provide a lot of damage. That is what a spam comp is meant to do. Take the fight from multiple different angles and be able to separate everybody on the enemy team. So great job there from Delirium to recognize their win con, recognize what they need to do, and be able to execute it almost flawlessly. So now they have a really good shot of holding this. That window coming out for a little bit of procedure as Paradise Tempest trying to make their way up to the high ground, but we'll see what the move is here from Paradise Tempest now, as they don't have a lot of ults on board, and if you look on the side of Delirium, they've got some pretty hefty ults that could end a fight immediately if
Yeah, and speaking of which, they don't have much time as well. Dragon Strike and the High Noon coming out, as well as the Critter Flux. His trades coming out, still even all around, but just as I say that, the Bongo is dropped down, as the side of Delirium are looking so strong on Dorado.
Yeah, there might have been a little bit of an overinvestment there from Delirium, but still, they were able to clean up the fight really well. But they have 30 seconds now and only one rally, maybe a Dragon Strike to end this off. Paradise Tempest did invest the window into that fight, as well as Hawk's Dragon. And again, 30 seconds to try and push this cart to the end. They are not looking great for wear right now. So we'll see if Paradise Tempest are able to push it. They might, and they are actually just going to go straight to the low ground, try to push this cart all the way to the end. But Delirium still have that high ground, and they still have a lot of control over it.
Yeah, Mr. Ness going to continue to get that control, splitting up the squad of Paradise Tempest and the Bob, not getting any value to be taken out immediately. But the Orisa of Delirium is so low right now, is going to stay alive for the time being, as Bongo is out from Azukari trying to pump in the damage. And there it is. They've opened the side, everything up, as all the kills now coming into the favor of Paradise Tempest, as Azukari lighting things up.
Beautiful, beautiful patience and endurance coming out from Paradise Tempest. They withstood every single thing that Delirium tried to throw at them, and it worked. They were able to finish it out. They withstood all the support ults, all the Dragon Strikes, everything that Delirium had, and took it home and will take point A here. So great job by them. Wholesale swaps are coming out again here on the side of Paradise Tempest. They're switching back to this ball Winston style that we saw them play on point A. Obviously might have a little bit more availability here on point B. So we'll see if we'll see if Delirium are able to counter it this time.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. They've already seen the swaps coming out from Paradise Tempest with that rock onto Azukari. But Mr. S yet again taking things to their own hand as Vile with a 2K. Gravitic Flux coming out from the side of Delirium, as they're going to be able to win this out immediately.
Beautiful Flux there from File, and a lot of good picks coming out from Mr. S and the rest of the team. So now, obviously, Paradise Tempest has to try and come up with a different strategy, and they've decided to put Lars on the Pharah against a Cassidy Hanzo, which, I mean, I've seen weirder strategies, so we'll see if it can work here. They do have this Mercy Pocket of Ira helping him out, so we'll see if he's able to do anything. And already, he got 2 easy right there.
You were doubting Lars there on the Pharah. This man is incredible on most everything he plays, starting things off, getting the opening picks they needed as Paradise Tempest continue to push forward, as they desperately needed to win that fight.
Not necessarily doubting Lars per se, just forgot how good he was on the Pharah, especially over in Tranquility. But Lars's Pharah definitely can cause any team to shiver. He is really good at maintaining those rockets, really good at being able to pick any sort of team and take exploit of all of those. So we'll see if it's able to make a big difference here. Culture finding Mr. S in the back line is even bigger here for the side of Paradise Tempest as they make a quick engage.
Yeah, and here comes a nice Nano Winston from Azukari does get taken out, but they do all they need to do in the end because, well, the side of Delirium didn't touch the point.
No, there was a distraction from Azukari just diving straight into their faces that caused Delirium not to be able to touch the cart. You can call it a Cena in the chat. I just call it pure pressure, but whatever you want to say, regardless, Paradise Tempest do have point B, and now they're making their way to point C with the minimal time of 1 minute and 30 seconds. They're still pushing forward, Joker. They might try to take quick fights here, but the drum coming out from Burbage probably is going to shut that down.
So they're going to be using the Mind Shield out from Culture here, but Lars is down, gets rest up immediately afterwards. But still, nothing really doing after that. They're still going to be engaging here. There comes the Dragon Blade out from Hawk, looking for a couple of the nice... Oh, but Princess with the 3K Deadeye immediately shuts down that push from Paradise Tempest, and it's down to 60 seconds left on the board.
Genji, unfortunately, is not faster than the bullets, and Francesco just absolutely demolishes that push coming out from Paradise Tempest. Now Tempest are switching over to the Tracer here for Lars, so we'll see. They only have 40 seconds to try and finish this out, and they only have the Primal Rage and the Valkyrie to be able to do it. But who knows? It is possible for them to try and finish up this point. Dorado is hard to finish, but we'll see if they're able to do it. Also worth noting, double hit scan on the side of Delirium here, trying to deal with that Pharah, and now the Pharah's out of the play.
Well, here comes Azukari yet again with the Primal Rage
baby.
and the Nano out on the board. He's going to get clear up the side of Delirium there. 3 kills for the Monkey of Red, as they should be able to get this. I don't know if anyone's... sorry, I didn't see Mr. S there, but I don't think anyone might be able to touch them. The Lucio swap is there, and the touch is there as well for the side of Delirium, but it's not going to matter, as it's just so much red right now in this kill feed. As Paradise Tempest on, if you didn't look at it from the start, it did not look like they were going to complete it, but all 3 points have been completed by Paradise Tempest here, Bowsy.
Great job by Paradise Tempest, having a rough start to point A and being able to steamroll the momentum all the way out to point B. Great job by them to be able to keep that endurance, keep their composure through all of that. Now they have a challenge. Try to defend this as much as possible and make sure that Delirium cannot cap all 3 points and bring us to overtime rounds, because if Delirium happens to get any more time than Paradise Tempest, Delirium's going to be in the advantage, because Paradise Tempest finished with 0 time in the time bank. So we'll have to see what the move is here from Paradise Tempest, as they're going to be on the defense here. So it's going to be interesting. We saw a lot of different looks out from Tempest. We'll see what look they decide to bring out here for the defense. Looks like they're bringing out that double shield with the Torbjorn and the Brigitte. Lars probably going to be either playing a Cassidy or an Ashe here. Yep, as I said, he'll be playing the Ashe here.
The Spog standard counter dive composition coming out from both of these teams, or sorry, from the defending squad here. But the double shield being played right now from the side of Delirium, a very interesting decision to keep running this double shield. They were running it well earlier on, but then when Tempest swapped up, kind of broke it apart.
Yeah, and also I'm interested to see if Danilo will stay on this Lucio here for the side of Delirium, because obviously in an anti-dive composition, the Lucio is not what you... Oh no, is he? Oh goodness, he's going to try to boop off Paradise Tempest off the high ground. It's going to work! He got the Orisa! Big play from Danilo!
They are diving, getting that positioning is huge, but Culture does take them down in the end. But still, that's so much positioning, and now they're gonna have to back up and engage underneath this this choke, which is a huge plays coming out from Delirium at the time. And Mr. S going down, Culture on the Diva, putting in a lot of work for this squad of Paradise Tempest at the moment. There's nothing really opening up for this Delirium side at the moment. Azukari goes down, as this could be the opening Delirium needed, and looking like it is. They're going to be able to push out the rest of Paradise Tempest, and Delirium going to keep pushing forward, but Lars on this flank, taking down 2. This is huge. Lars yet again! Lars looking for another one, not going to be able to get it, but the damage has been done as the camera kill coming out from Hawk on Defile, as the side of Paradise Tempest holding strong.
Lars absolutely bringing that fight back for the side of Paradise Tempest. My goodness, the Cassidy plays showing their absolute worth here on the side of Paradise Tempest. Now Delirium so close to win that fight. Unfortunately, they're going to have to reset. They are bringing out Mr. S on the Echo now instead of on that Hanzo. I'm pretty sure it was on before, so we'll see if that makes any sort of damage. Definitely will have a lot more damage on the side of Delirium, but we'll see if it makes any sort of difference here.
Yeah, they're gonna have to deal with that turret a lot more often than not. Mr. S, there comes the flux out from File, gonna get a lot of damage. The Deadeye coming through from Lars, looking for a couple, and they're gonna find 2 with it as well. Oh my goodness, Lars take a bow yet again, man. That's another 3K, 4K, 5K. Oh my goodness!
Yeah, Lars Cassidy is pretty good. Obviously, this is why they put him on the Cassidy instead of on the Ashe. He was showed the Ashe before, but went to the Cassidy right after, but it's making a lot of impact here. So, great move there from Lars. Great job from Paradise Tempest to be able to use this to its full advantage here. So, we'll see what the move is here coming out from Delirium. They do have this Deadeye of their own, so we'll see if they're able to use it to its full effect here. But Lars has already found Marshall.
Lars has already found Marshall. Lars yet again. Big boss Lars coming out from the side of Paradise Tempest, as they're going to keep pushing forward, as they can't do anything, as Lars just keeps hitting shot after shot.
Lars don't miss. He don't miss. I don't know what else to say about this man. He's just been destroying the side of Delirium, and Delirium just don't have an answer right now. They're trying to come up with something. They're obviously trying to use all their ults. You do see File now switching over to the Desperation Diva off that Sigma, so now they might have a solution. That Defense Matrix can obviously provide a lot more damage, but here comes the move in here from Delirium with this drum from Marissa, and already they've lost the stress.
Yeah, Mr. Essence, the Orisa as well going down. They're not going to be able to push in any longer as it's down to 40 seconds here, Bowsy. It's not looking good for Delirium on this attacking phase.
Nope, and with File getting badly staggered here, gonna get hammer killed by Hawk. That's 2 if you're counting at home, if you're trying to do a drinking game of how many hammer kills we're getting. But regardless, now only 30 seconds left for the side of Delirium. They do have some big ults. The Window, the Trans, the High Noon, and the Duplicate are all online. None of their tank ults will be up, so we'll see if they're able to make any sort of advantage of this fight. But this is last fight territory for him, and if his Deadeye gets anybody, it's game over.
Deadeye is going to take down File there on the Diva. No longer going to be able to keep up the Molten Core coming out from Hawk onto the points, as the Deadeye also coming out for just for something. It's now Blue's filling this kill feed right now for Delirium. Hawk does take down File, but still, it does not look like it's going to be enough for Paradise Tempest to win this out, as all these picks going into the favor of Delirium. It's just Culture left on this point, as Delirium at the 11th hour finally capturing point 1.
Great job by Delirium. Once again, just like Paradise Tempest, cool, collected, and be able to endure it at the last minute. So now they will be able to push here into point 2. You will be seeing Hawk switch over to the Hanzo here, Blanche switching over to the Ana, and Ira switching over to the Mercy here on the side of Paradise Tempest. So obviously a little bit of changes. Mr. S going over to the Genji. So now it looks like that Delirium want to play for this Nano Blade, as you do see a support switch to the Ana Lucio comp. So we'll see what the move is. Actually, no, it's a full sale swap. It's a dive composition here from the side of Delirium as they're trying to make their first engage.
Very interesting. Hawk now off this Torbjorn is going to be better for this Delirium squad, as they're going to be using this dive as the Winston taking down Lars, but it's going to be turned back. Marshall going down to the self-destruct is huge to the side of Paradise Tempest for the moment. You now have that main source of healing gone, but the D-Mac onto the Diva. Mr. S with a nice dash through as well, finishing things up for this fight for Delirium pretty quickly and pretty decisively.
Yeah, I think definitely Delirium are showing their strength here on this dive composition. Lars will get the kill onto Danilo on the exit, but still, it's a very good push here coming out from Delirium. They're able to bring it all the way over here to point 2. It looks like you will be seeing Paradise Tempest contest here at point 2, but they are feeling comfortable on this dive composition, so we'll see if it's able to bring them success. Hawk killing the Winston, though, is bad.
Yeah, that was a nice play coming out from Lars. That eye coming out from Francisco here, looking for something. Does not get anyone, however, as Hawk taking down a double is but still, it's not looking good. Oh, and the rematch kill coming in on the Hawk here could just change everything, as it might be enough for the side of Delirium to finally unlock this second point here, as Francesco going wild on Cassius.
File doing a really good job there, and the Diva being able to bring it back there. The bomb, the remake kill, pretty much every play that transpired there was at the work of File. So great job there by the Diva of Delirium to be able to bring that back. And now it is the last point here for Delirium, 1 minute and 45 seconds to try and get that third point and try to bring us to overtime rounds. And we already see swaps coming out from Paradise Tempest. They've switched to the Tracer Reaper DPS composition. So one obviously for the poke and one for the frontline damage to try and take down that Winston. So we'll see if it plays into their advantage. Lars is already looking for the backline, however. He sees that Ana and he wants blood.
Here comes the Nano Blade out from Mr. S, but it's going to be, he's not going to find anything here, as Ira is going to top everyone up with the Mercy, as it's still looking good, but now, just as I say that too, coming in for Delirium right now, but it's getting flashed off immediately, and Hawk taking down Marshall. Nice sleep coming out, the self-destruct as well there. Not going to take down the Winston, however, but it's still looking good for Paradise. Tempest is down to 60 seconds left, and they've got all the kills they need as the Nero going down, and the sleep on the File, as Paradise Tempest come back and get a nice hold that they desperately need.
Paradise Tempest as a whole pretty much protected the team from that Nano Blade. I believe it was Boops from Culture to be able to keep the Genji away from the rest of the team. So great job there from Paradise Tempest. That Stagger once again going out onto File now. But you will be seeing now that Delirium are running over onto this Reaper Echo comp once again. They only have 30 seconds. File's going to be late to the fight, but they should be able to have a full 6 party here for the final fight. And you do see Danilo coming out here with the D.Va, trying to boost him back in. So we'll see what the move is here from Delirium. They only have this Primal Rage online, so we'll see if they're able to do anything with it, and if Paradise Tempest are able to hold them back or not.
Well, they're going to be walking into a lot of ultimates here coming in from Paradise Tempest. Ooh, as Hawk almost does go down as the Winston takes down Launch early on, but the DMAC onto Culture is there. Lars does take down Mr. S. Death Blossom is out. It's a really even trade. Currently, it's anyone's point right now as the Primal Rage is out now from Azukari, looking for these final picks as it's just looks to be the tank line of for Delirium left on point as Lars cleaning things up as the side of Paradise Tempest yet again taking this map, and they go up 2-0 and into match point.
Great job by Paradise Tempest to be able to hold that. Delirium had a lot of good moments there, but Paradise Tempest just a little bit better in terms of stability, keeping themselves in play. And as we mentioned, Lars going to be getting the player of the game here on this Pharah. Look at this. Just look at this man. He hits rockets like nobody's business, gets those 2 picks very easily, gets the 3rd onto the Orisa. Absolutely stunning plays coming out of Paradise Tempest and showing that they are not afraid to adapt. That is a great thing to have as a team in a tournament. If you can adapt to any sort of composition, you are going to win. So a great job there from Paradise Tempest to adapt to every single situation that Delirium threw into them. The dive, this double shield, anything in between, Paradise Tempest adapted, and they were able to make it all work. So great job from them. They will be getting that second map, and now they're at match points.
Yeah, and I don't think the stream saw it, so I'm going to say it. Lars had 62% kill participation. That's a lot, if you didn't know. But 41 elims out from him there. But we're going to head to a short little intermission for halftime here. Don't go anywhere. You're not going to want to miss maybe the conclusion of this series right after this.
Makes me time of failure.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a nice little break. Get to go to the bathroom, get a drink, get some snacks as we're heading into map 3 here. But before we do, let's talk about that second map for a quick second, because we got some nice little replay of what we saw there on it as well. But like you see right now, we're going to Eichenwald. But first, let's talk about maps 2. Lars was just incredible, Bowsy.
Absolutely, Lars showing his absolute potential here on throughout the entirety of Dorado, being able to bring it into the favor of Paradise Tempest. And really, Lars has been a standout figure throughout Paradise Tempest's life cycle. So great to see that he's still popping off whatsoever. But now, and because of that, Paradise Tempest are now at match point here up against Delirium. First to 3 points takes the series. Right now, Paradise Tempest are at 2 maps. We go into map number 3, which is once again Delirium's choice, and they have chosen for a hybrid map, Eichenwald. So it's going to be interesting to see what the move is here. A Ferris-focused map in a way, Joker, despite the fact Tempest ran a good Pharah with Lars. So what is the move here that they could possibly be thinking about? Are they trying to go for that brawl style, maybe?
I have no idea, because as well with the Pharah, that second point bodes so well to that the double dive main tanks that we see Paradise Tempest love to run. That the Winston and Ball can find so much value on point 2, but everything starts out on point 1. And like you're saying, Pharah is just so good on this first point. With all these sight lines, it's very difficult to take a Pharah out from the sky, and it's going to be very interesting to see how these teams decide to go on.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see indeed, as looks like Delirium right now, they're going to be running the double shield composition that they've mainly been sticking as their bread and butter through most of his series, the Hanzo, Torbjorn, Orisa Sigma, Bap, Zen composition here. Already, you see on the side of Paradise Tempest, they're teasing Lars on the Pharah. Hawk's probably going to be playing something similar, but we'll see. Be interesting to see an Air Force One composition with the double dive main tanks, but we'll see what the move is here from Paradise Tempest. They obviously have a plan in store here for Eichenwald, and all they need is one map in order to secure themselves a move on in the bracket. As they are going to be going with the Air Force One, 2 flyers in the sky, an Echo and a Pharah. Torbjorn's beware, as it's going to be a mess, and Lars is actually going to the back line with Ira in tow. This could be disastrous.
Yeah, I don't think they've seen them either, which is going to be a very interesting case nonetheless, as well, Lars is just pumping in so much damage as he's already taken down the Hanzo, looking for more, gonna be able to take the Torbjorn as well, it seems. Now he's gonna get healed up and stay alive for the time being, but that's the position from Paradise Tempest has already won them this fight, it seems, because, well, they've got more picks in this fight. Now Hawk getting unleashed with this Echo as well, as they finish things off with a 3-piece coming in from the Echo of Paradise Tempest.
And this is the style that I've been referring to most of this match. The double dive tanks, except it's a spam style. Paradise Tempest use those tanks to try and engage. They have them going on all different angles, being able to take multiple different perspectives, and being able to split apart the rest of Delirium and pick them apart one by one. That is how Paradise Tempest does so well on this composition, with this spam style composition that has these dive tanks. We'll be seeing Hawk switch over to the Genji here, so obviously a little bit of change, but already the dive comes in, and already the Orisa for the side of Paradise. Delirium is off.
Yeah, as the ultimate's being used on the side of Paradise Tempest. Ooh, but De Niro getting 2 of their own with the Zenyatta. Taken down, however, by Hawk, but still, that is 2 picks. That is huge, and it might bode some more time off the clock. They're still going to be getting some nice cart push, though.
Absolutely, and you will be seeing Lars now switch over to the Tracer off of the Pharah, but Danilo doing a really good job on that Zenyatta, being able to keep everything up, so great job there. We will be seeing now that Delirium, they switched over to a Reaper now, so we're going to be seeing that sort of change come out here, have that little more damagey style with this spam composition. Those mines forcing out the trans is big.
Yeah, nice dive coming in, but Azukari is down as the Amp Matrix coming out from Marshall is going to be huge, pumping in so much damage from the side of Delirium. Mr. S does go down, but, well, they've already won this fight, so it does not really matter in the end.
All right, time to do another drinking game. Let's count how many times Hawks gets a deflect kill, because that's the second one so far since he switched over to the Genji. But nonetheless, Paradise Tempest, now they're taking their time, and they have once again switched Lars over to the Pharah. So they obviously are trying to play a little bit of rock, paper, scissors here. Make sure that the enemy team doesn't have 2 hit scans at the ready and just take advantage of it with the Pharah. So we'll see what Paradise Tempest's move is now. They're obviously trying to plan their attack. Culture's probably in the back line, if I had to guess, trying to make that move. But we'll see what the move is. Oh, do they nano blade? Yep.
There's the nano blade, and it's already 2. Looking for another one onto the Orisa as well. The deflect coming in from Hawk. Looking for a final one, as it's going to be Azukari finishing off Francesco on the Reaper there, as the side of Paradise Tempest with a nice engage, finding everyone they need to keep pushing forward.
That's 3 shots. Anyway, but Paradise Tempest, good engage there. They did use a lot of ults, however, which might mean they have bad movement coming into this next point. But you already see that it didn't even matter. Delirium are switching up their composition fully to a dive style with the Ana Briggs. So we'll see if it plays into their favor here. But Paradise Tempest just really holding these gates really close. And they've already found 2 picks with the Ana nonetheless.
Yeah, the Ana Blanche with some huge anti-nades have been incredible going through for Paradise Tempest, as this is just another nice cleanup fight for the side of Paradise Tempest. They look so strong, they look so confident, and they are ready to finish this out on map 3 here.
Yeah, they want to end this quickly. Blanche getting that last kill onto Mr. S here at the end of that, and now 3 minutes and 40 seconds to try and finish out point C here. And Delirium, they're looking for answers. They're constantly swapping up their hero pool, but now it looks like they might have found a solution, which is the Dallas 6-man dive. Instead of having a Sombra, you have the high damage Echo, so we'll see if it plays any favors, or if Lars is able to... Oh, big pick from Mr. S getting that shot.
Mr. S with 2, taking out the Farmer C already, as this is a nice re-engage coming in from Delirium. That's what they needed. They needed a nice fight win, and they needed a decisive one as well.
Definitely. Really good job there, Mr. S, being able to pump out a lot of damage, shut the Pharah down, so much so that Lars has switched over to the Cassidy. So we're probably in for a little bit more treats after that Dorado game, but nonetheless, Delirium do get their first hold here for a long bit. So we'll see if they're able to continue holding it, or if Paradise Tempest are able to push this cart all the way to the end. They do have the Nano Blade online, and that's exactly what they're doing again.
Yeah, Nano Blade coming out, but no one is able to get... no one's in the line of sight of Hawk there, as it's going to be the side of Delirium getting 2, but it's going to be traded out. Culture with 2 of their own. Culture with
the back line
as well, looking for a 4th onto the Reaper there, but it's not going to matter. It's going to be Hawk finding the 2 as well of their own. However, you cannot deflect a beam there, Mr. Hawk, but they're going to keep pushing forward, pushing this out. Coalescence now being invested from Marshall, looking to get back into this point, looking for some damage and some healing out here, but it's not going to be enough. Francesco trying to do something, does take down Blanche, but the defensive matrix of Culture was huge. They keep pushing forward. Paradise Tempest doing so much work right now, as Culture on this Diva is running hog wild right now, as Lars with the Deadeye looking to get some more work done, looking for something, gonna be taking the Echo out of copy as well, as this side of Paradise Tempest cannot be stopped, as they keep pushing forward, as the side of Delirium keep looking to hold on to this point, but it seems so futile in the end, as Hawk has another Dragon Blade online, looking for another one. Got 2 of their own. The Symmetra is out trying to stop this dive composition of Paradise Tempest. It's not looking good, but just as I say that, Final takes Blanche out of the sound barrier, as, oh my goodness, Delirium have somehow hold on to the point.
Someone please start a GoFundMe for Joker to get an inhaler. That was a long and drawn-out fight, and in the end, Delirium get the victory. They'll also get the stagger onto Culture there on the Diva, but my goodness, a great Great stall coming out from Delirium, keeping their composure, keeping themselves in the know, knowing exactly what to do, what to focus, being able to finish it out. And now, only 40 seconds here for Paradise Tempest to try to push in. They have 0 ults. The only thing that could be useful to them. Lars now on the Sombra, so we'll see what the move is here from Paradise Tempest. They already found a hack onto Mr. S, and they're making the move fast.
And then pushing in very quickly and trying to get this as decisively as can. They do take down Verb on that Winston, but the mech onto Culture is huge. They're going to be pushed back thanks to this Coalescence and this damage coming out from Mr. S on the Reaper. As this defense looking very strong now as it's down to 10 seconds, and it does not seem that anyone will be able to touch for the side of Paradise Tempest. Ooh, Lars is there, but for how long?
Oh,
that
no.
is on point. They do get the hack onto the Reaper, but the damage has already been done. It seems there's 2 picks on the side of Delirium, and Francesco is supercharged on the Symmetra as well. It's going to be so hard for Paradise Tempest to do anything with that sheer amount of damage coming out from this DPS line of Delirium right now. As the Blue filling this kill feed as the overtime bar which goes down as finally Delirium get a stop.
Great hold by Delirium. Great job to be able to hold that. It looked very close there, pretty much. Paradise Tempest felt like they had the right equation to be able to end that, but they were unable to do it, and so they were unable to finish the map. Delirium finally hold Paradise Tempest off from being able to full cap a map, and now 64.32 meters stand between Delirium trying to start a reverse sweep here on Eichenwald. So we'll see what the move is here for them on their attack, what they're deciding to bring out here, and what the response is going to be here from Paradise Tempest. As coming out of the gates, Tempest once again bringing out that double shield with the Ash Hanzo. So they are committed to this style. They're not bringing out the Cassidy this time, but I don't think it makes a difference. Lars has just been a stellar player on any hero that he's touched right now. So we'll see if he's able to continue bringing this team to victory, and if Paradise Tempest are going to be winning the match, or if Delirium might start a reverse sweep here.
It's so odd that Delirium has been running nothing but double shield and dive when their favorite meta is Brawl. It's so interesting. I don't know why. It's been working somewhat, but it's so interesting to me. I don't know what's going through their head, why they're opting for these compositions that they're playing.
Even weirder is that they're opting for the Torbjorn here on attack, which the enemy team has no dive targets to try and really focus on. So we'll see what the move is here from Mr. S, what the move is here from the side of Delirium as they start to make the engage here on the first point, and that dynamite from Delars already getting the work done.
Yeah, and Launch taking down Verb on the Orisa is going to be huge. That's going to be opening everything up for the rest of Paradise Tempest to get these final blows that they need to win this fight out. As well, that's a nice little team kill, but not team kill coming in from Paradise Tempest.
Great win there from Paradise Tempest. They were able to really stop that rotation in his tracks, and already we see wholesale swaps. Mr. S switching over to the Mei now, which, I mean, May's good in the Brawl comp, but the double shield comp is a very questionable move. This is obviously just to enable that rotation to make sure that that Delirium can get through this area. So
oh my
we'll see what happens. But already you've lost your Orisa.
That was just a sheer amount of damage. Hawk must have gotten a headshot on to Bird on the Orisa, because that was just an annihilation coming out from Paradise Tempest right now, as De Niro going back to spawn as well.
I thought Pokemon Ice beat Rock, but apparently no, Rock beats Ice here because the wall was just not fast enough and then that was eliminating that Orisa. But still, you do see Paradise Tempest keeping their composure, keeping themselves nice and cool here as Icy Delirium trying to push in. They do have this window if they want to try to slow down Paradise Tempest and make sure that they don't get this hold off, but we'll see what the move is here as Tempest looking for the perfect opportunity to stop this push here from Delirium.
Yeah, as I believe the Mei,
May's on the computer room.
Yeah, May's up on the computer room. The Dragon Strike coming out here, trying to separate people, and they do take down Bile here. That is a huge pick coming out here as Lars looking to get a pick with this dynamite. Has his Bob online as well, looking for something. As a nice headshot comes through as all the picks are now going in the favor of Paradise Tempest yet again. They're just looking so good, looking so unbeatable right now, Bowser.
Absolutely, and it's obviously switched out a composition here from Delirium. Delirium's going to try their hand here at this double main tank spam style. See if they're able to use this to the advantage. With the drone coming out here early from Azukari, and Hawk switching over to that Tracer. Might be a little bit of trouble. They're actually just going in for the straight dive, but Mr. S has already died.
Dueling Transcendences are out from both of these squads, but the Grota Flux is going to be there without any follow-up because of it, as De Niro going down, as Culture yet again with a 2K coming out for the side of Paradise Tempest, and now Bowsy, we're down to a minute left, and all the hopes rest for the side of Delirium now.
You're going to be seeing Mr. S jump off the edge. He was obviously far in the back line. And already, look at these swaps coming out from Delirium. They're switching over to a full dive style now with this Winston Ball Tracer Genji composition. So, kind of seems weird. I would have had the Ana for the Moira, but we'll see what the move is here from Delirium. They obviously have a plan in store. They don't have a lot of ults coming out here, but they need to make a move and quickly. They only have 30 seconds to try and take any progress on this first point, and no ults to do it. We'll see if they're able to finish it out here, or if this is going to be bye-bye for Delirium.
It's going to be really on the back of Francesco, but Lars already taking down Marshall is huge, but, well, there's not going to be much to do any longer, because Lars is unleashed yet again on another hit scan DPS, as they've got a couple people left on point, but I mean, Lars is still alive, clicking heads. You can't really do much. There's 5 seconds left as Paradise Tempest win it out. The first round. Oh man, come on! I had it perfectly tuned up. There they get the touch on by File as Marshall going down yet again. As Lars' Bob gonna get to work done, and there it goes. There's the end. The overtime bar is burning down. The team kill gong sounds as Paradise Tempest take round 1 of NACC.
Great job by Paradise Tempest, showing that they are here to win, especially up against Delirium. Play of the game, however, will go over to Blanche on the side of Paradise Tempest on the Zenyatta. So we'll see. Obviously did a lot of good job here on the flex support role, and Paradise Tempest did a really good job in general, following up with all the moves that they needed to. They did the work, they did their homework, able to counter, able to adapt. That is what a championship team is capable of, and great job by Paradise Tempest, able to adapt on the fly and get themselves working. So really good job by them. And now they are going to be moving on in the bracket here for the NACC. So great job by them to be able to win that. And really a good job by Delirium as well. They looked very competent in multiple sort of scenarios. They looked like they could have turned a map at any sort of moment. So they are very good. So they look like a very good team, and I feel like they could be moving forward. They just need to tune up a little bit more in their adaptability and all their strategies, and then you could see them winning matches once again. So it's going to be close throughout the rest of the season, but I think it's Paradise Tempest right now showing that they are going to be a dominant force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking of a dominant force, I mean, before they lost in Tranquility, they were on a what was it, like a 27 game without a map loss. I mean,
Something like that.
If they can find that form yet again, they're going to be unbeatable. We've already seen it so far. They hit some snags, but they can adapt, and that's such a huge thing, especially in lower tiers of Overwatch. You don't normally see that from teams do what we saw Paradise Tempest do throughout this series.
Yeah, Paradise Tempest, this is the squad that's been playing for a long time, and obviously that adaptability comes naturally. When you play for that long, the synergy comes naturally, and they've had a lot of success throughout the Overwatch tournament scene, and GGNA was just the start of it. The GGNA Championship, the runner-up in Overwatch Tranquility Season 7 Discord tier. This is a team that knows how to get to the end and try to be able to do as much as possible. They've been doing a great job thus far this season, and I do not expect anything but the best for this team. They've been doing amazing. But Joker, as I usually do in most of my casts, I think we need to pick some player of the matches. Who do you think is the player of the match from this game?
Oh man, it's such a hard choice. I mean, come on. Let's be real here. It's Lars.
Yeah.
But I'd also like to shout out Culture on the off-tank role was incredible, as well as Blanche on that flex support role, where they were both very good, very great players. But I mean, when Lars is doing what Lars is doing, you can't give it to anyone else but him.
Yeah, you really can't. As I said back then over in Tranquility, roses are red, violets are blue. Lars is alive, and he's killing you. So definitely showing what he's made of and really showing it to that full potential. So great job by Paradise Tempest, Lars, player of the match here for both of our casters. And we still got a long week of matches for the NACC, Joker. It's going to be a really good week, and I honestly cannot wait for the rest of it.
Yeah, it's going to be great. And speaking of which, they still have another match up tonight. In about 20 or 40 minutes, we're going to be seeing Hayden Overwatch team versus
Reminiscence.
Reminiscence. That's what it is. Reminiscence. Yeah, going to be casted here on the Tranquility channel. So you're going to have about 40 minutes. Don't go really anywhere. Just get some more snacks or something like that. And tomorrow, we'll be back again, I believe, on the UGC Twitch channel, if I'm correct. Yes. So make sure to drop a follow to the UGC League, twitch.tv/UGC League to catch out that tomorrow. But I mean, that's going to be really about it for me and you, Bowsy. I believe you're going to be sticking around for the next event or next game as well. But that's going to be a bit for me. Thank you all for watching my portion of the broadcast. Don't go anywhere. Like I said, 40 minutes from now, you're going to be seeing some more amazing Overwatch action. Peace out and good night.
You don't need an invitation. I already know what you're saying. I love little conversations, and I don't want you to go changing. Cause girl, you're just so comfortable. Girl, you're just so comfortable. Girl, you're just so comfortable. I hope that you just feel it all too. Cause girl, you're comfortable, let's go. Feel so good just when I roll through. And I just think it's so crazy what you do to me. Girl, you're the baddest thing, you know that. And I really need you to show it. So turn around, let me get you on the cold. Girl, you're just so comfortable. Cause girl, you're just so. Girl, I love a situation. We don't spend time hesitating. And I wouldn't say we're crazy in love. I would just say we're crazy enough. Cause girl, you're just so comfortable. Girl, you're just so comfortable. Girl, you're just so comfortable. I hope that you just feel it all too. Cause girl, you're comfortable, let's go. Feel so good just when I roll through. And I just think it's so crazy what you do to me. Girl, you're the baddest thing, you know that. And I really need you to show it. So turn around, let me get you on the cold. Girl, you're just so comfortable. Cause girl, you're just so. We ain't gotta slow it down. Jeans on when we hit the town. We don't really care who's around. But baby, I'm with you if you gon' be down. Cause girl, you're just so comfortable. Girl, you're just so comfortable. Girl, you're just so comfortable. I hope that you just feel it out too. You're just so comfortable. Cause girl, you're comfortable. It just feels so good just when I roll through. I just think it's so crazy what you do to me. Girl, you're the baddest thing, you know that. It's true. And I really need you to show it. So turn around, let me get you on the cold air. I don't know what you do. Yeah. Let me get you on the cold air.
Okay, getting the first pick. Oh, get three, Pyro, get three with the.
Blade kick putting on a clinic. 14 down. Oh!
Experience tranquility.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second game of the North American Community Championship. If you're just joining us for the first time, this is something really exciting that I'm personally incredibly excited for. We have 4 of the biggest names in Tier 4 Overwatch coming together for a sort of a giant crossover episode. You have BPL, Overwatch Tranquility, Get Good, and you have
UGC.
UGC. There you go. You got it. UGC. Forgot the third one. Forgot the fourth one because it's the only one I haven't casted in. And they're coming together and playing in a big tournament to see who's going to take the crown. We're here with Hayden Overwatch team from the Bad Patch Mari League and Reminiscence from Tranquility coming together to come into our bracket and see who will go on to face Paradise Tempest in that sort of in that next phase. I am K-Wing and I'm here with HP Bazzy. Bazzy, how are you doing? And are you as excited for this as I am?
I'm doing well, and I'm super excited for this match, K-Wing. Reminiscence, the Season 7 Discord Tier Championships facing off against Hayden Overwatch team from Bad Pachamari League. It is going to be an exciting match, and one that I'm very excited to tune into. The winner of this, of course, goes off to face Paradise Tempest, the winner of Get Good North America Season 8, if I remember, Intermediate Division. The loser has to face off against Delirium, so it's going to be an amazing match, and honestly, I cannot wait for this match to transpire.
Yeah, absolutely. These are the best of the best in all of these leagues. Like you were talking about, the winners of each of these sort of tournaments coming in, and actually the winners of in the grand finals for the season 3 of BPL, Hayden Overwatch team. So really exciting, I think, just having all these teams come together, and I'm really excited to get into this. Of course, our first map is going to be Lijiang Tower.
Lijiang Tower, a favorite of mine, adapts for a much more brawlier playstyle, especially on all three, mostly Symmetra throughout the entire map series, but still is a fun map to experience nonetheless. We'll see what the teams decide to bring out here as the gates are about to open, the heroes are about to be shown. Reminiscence will be on the left, and Hayden Overwatch team will be on the right. If the names are wrong, it's because that they switched it up without telling our producer, so don't blame the producer on that. But right now we do see mostly brawl style on the side of Reminiscence, but Hayden Overwatch team running a little bit of a different strategy, so we'll see which team is able to take advantage here as we're about to go into Lijiang Night Market.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think, in my opinion, this is going to be more of who's going to be able to get to the point first. You have Tanic B on the side of Hayden Overwatch team on the Pharah. You have the FAP, you have the all Diva competition. So it's going to be a matter of how to approach this. You're going to have the Pharah raining in rockets from the left side, and actually going to be taking out Glitch. Now Reminiscence is trying to take advantage of some sort of... No, they have to go now. They have no more sustain. They do get the DMAX, but will it be enough? It doesn't look like it, as Lashma going to go down. There's no more supports for the members of Reminiscence, but Hayden Overwatch team will go down. There's the kill on the Blood Hungry. Blood Hungry gets the kill on to Tanic B. It is a fight to the death here. Glitch actually going to get taken out again by Ducks and moved off the side of the map. Hayden Overwatch team will be the first to take the point.
Yeah, Hayden Overwatch team coming out with a very interesting composition, running this Lucio Mercy support line in a dive comp, which has a lot of damage with that Tracer and Pharah. Definitely can do a lot of work, and Reminiscence obviously not expecting that, but they are making wholesale swaps. Seraph has switched over to the Cassidy here, so they're running still this brawl style, but they have to be careful about these sort of ults coming up on the side of Hayden Overwatch team. Tanic B does have that barrage up, and it's only a matter of time.
There it goes, getting to it, and the DMAX to boot. 100 will soon fall after. There goes last one on the side, and it is a quick defense for Hayden Overwatch team.
Very quick attack there, being able to just dismantle Reminiscence at the seams, and Hayden Overwatch team continue to tank up their progress, and only one ult used in that fight. We will be seeing Asdo now switch over to the Tracer to try and combat this style that Hayden are bringing out, and the Pulse Bomb used here, able to get rid of the Immortality Field from Glitch, but still, Reminiscence, they're stabilizing, they're trying to keep themselves alive, and now it's just a matter of how they're able to engage into Hayden Overwatch team as they're looking for the backline. However, that could be disastrous to be fine to take.
Glitch is going to go down there, and already, there goes Duck for Hayden Overwatch team, but he just can't do anything else. Mine's on the point, you can't really approach, but if you stay over to the side, you are in so much danger of getting thrown off the side. There's so much movement here from the side of Hayden Overwatch. You have the Pharah, you have Wrecking Ball, you have the Lucio, you have the Diva. 4 of these 6 players have the ability to throw you off the side of the map. Tenby has this barrage ready and raring to go. Seraph has gotten a double kill, but it won't be enough for the members of Reminiscence. There's the charge kill from Blood Hungry. That's going to be just a barely. Reminiscence able to hold on and capture, but 94% for Hayden Overwatch team.
Yeah, and Reminiscence had to invest a lot into that. The Shatter from Blood Hungry was invested. Seraph obviously switching over to the Soldier, no longer has the ult. Roby falling off the map means there's going to be a little bit of a reset here for the side of Hayden Overwatch team, but still didn't get any kill credit. That's all they needed right now, but still Reminiscence, they will have control over this point with Seraph on the Soldier now, but we'll see what the move is here from Hayden Overwatch team. They do have both of their DPS ults online, so they could get a massive pick to start off this fight, but oh,
There you go.
say that. There's that massive pick.
Panic B finds the pick onto Seraph. The pulse bomb's gonna draw out the immortality field, and there you go. The pulse bomb actually gonna get eaten there after not able to find anything. The baby will go down. So will the Mercy, the Tracer, and Lucio both finding some crucial picks. There's the Tracer to a 1 right with the melee, and that's exactly what you need. Robbie is well going to fall, and Reminiscence are starting to hold on, and that was a huge ult investment from Hayden Overwatch team. We could be seeing the table start to turn.
Yeah, Hayden Overwatch team are switching over to a brawl of their own now, having a full comp reset here. But great job there from Reminiscence to be able to adapt, as though on the Tracer being able to get those important picks. As Hayden Overwatch team pushing in really quickly here. They want to try to get this fight done. They've already found Sarah.
Yeah, I've found Sarah. Both immortality fields come out. Eve is so incredibly low right now, going to stay alive just a little bit longer. That could be the fight difference here for Hayden Overwatch team. The Shatter is there for Blood Hungry should they need it. And it looks like they're just going to be swinging for the fences. And now Hayden Overwatch team are in their last fight. They only have the beat, but look at what they're up against. 3 ults inside Reminiscence.
Reminiscence is definitely in the ult advantage here, and the Gurgler is going to be staggered out here on the Baby Diva. Ends up dying in the hands of DNA. 99% right now. Hayden barely touched with Robbie on the point. Oh, it's a massive
Here comes the Diva bomb. Shatter, it doesn't get anything. Dux is going to be the first to fall. Roby soon after. Greeny, Eve, all going down. Panic B is going to be the last to go, and round 1 going to go in a complete turnaround to Reminiscence.
Yeah, Reminiscence able to adapt to the style that Hayden Overwatch team were throwing at them, and they were able to get that reverse sweep on point number 1. Great job by them to be able to bring that adaptation to its finest. But now we're heading over to Lijiang Control Center, and as we see from both sides, this is the Junk Sim map. It is not really known for anything else apart from Junkrat and Symmetra. You can run a Pharah here. You can run those wanky strats. Paradise Tempest, most known for doing that in Tranquility. But for the most part, everyone's going to be running that Symmetra Junkrat. And we'll be seeing a Sigma on the side of Hayden Overwatch team. More shield pressure, more poke damage. We'll see what the move is here from Reminiscence Hayden Overwatch team. Which team's going to be able to get the advantage in this fight?
I think it's going to be down to that Junkrat. Like we said, actually, Seraph is going to be the first one down Panicky, finding that early pick, so now you have a lot less pressure coming in onto those shields, but this DPS line just puts so much pressure on the shield. Eve's immortality field is going to be the first to come out. DNEH actually barely going to stay alive. Last Ma goes down. DNEH going to get demet, and it is Hayden Overwatch team taking the point first, but that's just what happened last time.
Yeah, Hayden Overwatch team being able to get a little bit of advantage here. They are running that Sigma, which does provide them a lot more stability. Sigma is able to use that shield to be able to protect up against the mines of Junkrat and the beam of Symmetra, apart from a Diva, which can just eat the Junkrat mines, but can't protect the beam. So the Sigma obviously playing into the favor of Hayden Overwatch team, and now Reminiscence sticking with the strategy, trying to push forward, but they've already lost Seraph again.
Yeah, that's on the amplification mages coming out from Eve, really helping Greeny get the extra damage in. Both Junkrats coming up on their Riptide. Greeny's gonna get it first. Will it be the game changer here? Here comes the Gravitic Flux. The Gurgler is going to use it. It'll draw out a lot of ults there. There's 3 online right now for Reminiscence happening right now. The tire goes off, nothing there, but Greeny and Astro both go down. Both these Junkrats are gone. There's the Shatter that gets 2. That could be the fight winner there. Seraph will fall off of it, but Kobe as well going to go down. And Gurgler falls soon after. And that's an ult they might want back. It lets them stall out a little longer with the Lucio. Ducks swimming around, but it's the fight winner there.
Yeah, that was a really messy engage, but still Reminiscence able to barely come out on top. There were a lot of moments where Hayden Overwatch team looked like they had that, but in the end, Reminiscence take the fight win. But Hayden Overwatch team, they're not stalling. They want to try to push him fast, and Greeny's going to be bringing this tire all the way from spawn, try to get into the back line of Reminiscence to try to get that important pick. Will he be able to do it? Looks like no!
Oh, it's
Asto!
mine.
Beautiful
Okay.
mine.
That was just art poetry in motion. Here comes the Diva Bomb coming in right on top. Eve going to lose the immortality field. She's going to get taken down immediately after Asto finds Lucio. No more support now for Hayden Overwatch team, and the rest of their squad will soon follow.
Yeah, great play there. We do have
Oh,
a pause
pause.
coming in here. Probably some problems coming out from one of the players on Reminiscence or on Hayden Overwatch team. We'll figure out what that is exactly in a minute. But yeah, Reminiscence showing that once they're down, they're not really out. They're able to try and bring back these fights. Looks like it was a pause called by Hayden Overwatch team. So we'll see what the move is. They probably have a little bit of ping coming out there, but we'll figure it out as time goes on. But yeah, really, it's been interesting to see these two teams really face off. Hayden Overwatch team looked like they were really strong, but then Reminiscence came back and were able to really profit off of those sloppy engages, be able to take the victory out in that fight. Now have held the point up to 39%. So it could be interesting to see who wins this map because it really is back and forth.
Yeah, I think it's sort of that foil to last map, which was very one-sided honestly for both halves. It was just a different side of the one side. You had Hayden Overwatch team come out strong for the first 2 minutes almost, and then Reminiscence turn it around. Now we see almost back and forth, neither team really able to hold it for each, and a lot of times we see them just kind of draining these ult banks really quickly and not really able to establish that sort of they aren't able to like establish a better ult bank and start to rotate out these ultimates, which is ultimately when you talk about control, it's sort of your goal. You want to set up an ult advantage and start rotating out ults, start getting in these combinations, and you really just haven't been able to get that so far, as now we get into this next fight as the disengage comes through again.
Yeah, Hayden Overwatch team now are just going to be waiting for the perfect opportunity to engage. They do have this sound barrier from Dux, and they have this amplification matrix from Eve, so they're probably going to be using that matrix to engage, and what do you know? That's exactly what they're going to be doing, pushing Reminiscence away to the point, and now they're pushing in, but Seraph's already found the pick, and massive mines coming out from Asto.
Yeah, the beat is too late for Green. You don't have that Junkrat, and that is so much damage you're going to lose. There's the Shatter. It takes down Eve. It gets Eve, but it's only Eve. It might be enough. Asto with the tire on the side, coming in, trying to find anything. It will find the Gurgler to close out the fight for Reminiscence. Hayden Overwatch team are now on the hot seat, one fight territory.
Yeah, it's looking rough here for Hayden Overwatch team. Now they only have that. They do have a lot of ults coming up, actually. They have the tire, they have the Shatter, the Flux, and the Fortify shield here. So we'll see what they're able to do. It looks like they're going to be going full left here to the White Room, trying to get that big engage. But Reminiscence, they have an opportunity to do this, and Asdo already get the kill off on the Tanic is massive. This tire has to be big for Green, or else it's a loss.
This needs to be huge from Green. It actually is 2 picks there from Greeny, but will it be enough is the question. The Sigma getting knocked on, just able to touch the point. That could be enough, but it's just not. And Reminiscence, now with the end of that Diva Bomb, Ducks peeking out at just the wrong moment. Unless a miracle comes through from the stall, it's just going to be over. The ball spinning to win, but that grapple is soon going to expire as Seraph takes them down, and Reminiscence are going to go up 1-0 in the series.
Great job by Reminiscence. They started off weak on both points, but were able to rebound, come more strong than ever, and be able to take those victories. So great job by them. Blood Hungry gets the play of the game, especially here on Night Market. The Shatter trying to eliminate everybody. Just got 3 people outside of the May wall and then just charges in and kills the rest of the team. Great job by Blood Hungry and the rest of Reminiscence to take the victory here on Lijiang Tower. They will be going up in the series. Next map, of course, is Escort, however, and that is going to be at the choice of Hayden Overwatch team. They get to choose between Dorado, Gibraltar, or Rialto. So it's going to be interesting to see what they decide to pick. K-Wing, what are your thoughts?
I think a lot of these escort maps tend to be very sniper favored, except for just in general Dorado being, I think, the least of it. So
Yeah.
it depends on what strategy you want to run. If you want to run snipers, you could run pretty much any of the other escort maps. But if you see Dorado, you know that Hayden Overwatch team feels comfortable on the dive, in my opinion. But I think we saw some star plays coming out. We had a really cool barrage from Tanic B. We had the shatter that we saw for the play of the game. And no matter what, we just had an incredible string of events there. Reminiscence is coming out on top, but I could see this going another way. If a few fights turned for Hayden Overwatch team, you could have had a completely different song.
Yeah, definitely. You could have had a different outcome there. Hayden Overwatch team didn't look like they were like stepped on by Reminiscence. They had a lot of control and they almost took Lijiang Night Market. It was like 94, I'm pretty sure, on Lijiang Night Market. They just weren't able to clutch it up when it matters, and I think that's what Hayden Overwatch team has to make sure. They need to be able to rebound from those lost fights, and they need to try and do that as quickly as possible. We'll see what they decide to choose. As they have chosen their map, and it is Dorado for our escort map. Obviously, we saw this earlier in the day with Paradise Tempest versus Delirium. So we'll see if Hayden Overwatch team decides to run it here on the what Hayden Overwatch team has in store here for Dorado.
Dorado is fairly commonly a dive map. It's very popular to run that sort of diva ball composition, and I forget exactly who we saw running it last time. Was that Hayden Overwatch team, or because we saw
the diva ball composition we did see on Lijiang Night Market? That was with the Pharah and the Tracer on Lijiang Night Market. That's what Hayden Overwatch team started with on Night Market, and then they switched to the Brawl. So
I think that tracks, honestly. If we're talking about Hayden Overwatch team, you saw them be pretty comfortable coming out even on the Ball Diva, even on a map where honestly, Brawl reigns king. I think if you asked the top 2 Brawl maps, you'd probably get King's Row, and then I'd say Lijiang Tower. That's my opinion, but Lijiang Tower is a popular Brawl map. To come out with Ball Diva is definitely not a common pick, especially sort of at the level we're at right now. So now you can see maybe Hayden Overwatch team going to be a little more comfortable on the Ball Diva, but we're in the Assemble Heroes phase, and we'll be seeing what they'll be picking quite soon.
Well, I would argue that Lijiang Tower Garden allows for less Brawl comps. But speaking of comps, we already see some coming out here. And as you said, right now, Hayden Overwatch team on the right, on the attack, they're showing that Ball Diva right now with the Tracer Pharah. So you were right when you were saying about that Ball Diva. This is probably a good map to do it. On the side of Reminiscence, they're running this Winston Diva composition. This looks similar to what we saw Paradise Tempest run earlier today with the... Never mind. It was looking similar, and now Asda was switched over to the Tracer. So they're going to run the Ash Tracer, Monkey Diva, Brig Anna, which favors itself more to a dive-style composition. So pretty much half of your team would be diving, half of your team would be sustaining and making sure the Ana stays alive. So we'll see what the move is here. As now all of a sudden, a Overwatch team coming out with a pulled pork. Almost kidding. What a hungry... Heart rate excelled there, but Glitch's already found Tanic. That is quick, and the Ana.
Yeah, that's the meme of like how close I am to losing it. Is just that hook and that Winston right there. Oh, that was close. That was just white knuckle for a second, but just barely able to stay alive. Glitch already charging up this Nano incredibly fast. It's a really good tool as the ball actually going to be stopped in their tracks. Bloodhungry going to be going down first. That's a huge loss. Going in a little bit too aggressive there and going to get caught up. A Hayden Overwatch team. We're going to be forced to rotate around the Diva, getting a lot of ASD.
Asdo.
Asdo, there you go, that's the name. I'm smart, I'm a good caster, but eating a lot of that pulse rifle fire, you really can't charge up your ultimate as much when that D.Va is just following you around and harassing you, and even still, there's this leap onto Roby. Not going to get the kill there. That's really rough. Here comes the nano onto Blood Hungry, going to be able to go in and dive a lot better. That's a huge nano. That's a huge anti from Glitch. Actually gets both the tanks immediately. The Gurgler are going to use that self-destruct to just save themselves. TNP has that barrage. We saw some amazing plays from them using the barrage. Will they be there to have a miracle? The pulse bomb could come in on that Mercy, but Eve's just barely able to stay alive just by the skin of their teeth there. The girl actually switching onto the D.Va now. We got the ball D.Va again. I think actually they probably just switched for the chance to remech.
Potentially. Gurgler obviously switching to remech. The bomb's gonna come out here from Seraph just to contest the card a little bit. Oh, but Tanic B in the flank able to eliminate Seraph. That could be big here for Hayden Overwatch team. Looks like they're starting to make their engage off of that with the B, but as they're fighting Greeny, might change the fight here a little bit.
That could be. Is he trying to do?
Is he trying to do a Fisher?
He's trying to do.
Alright. Alright, Blood Hungry was thinking about it. It's separated the far end, Tanic B coming in.
Canopy uses the barrage, doesn't find anything. Actually, Seraph going to find a pick, but it's going to be the only pick that'll come in from Reminiscence. The Hayden Overwatch team unable to push through and really get those picks. A lot of ultimates used there, but it will be Hayden Overwatch team coming out on top after clearing off a few of the stragglers. With about a minute left to go, so now with 3.5 minutes and some split spawns for Reminiscence, here comes some aggression, but Greeny's going to get found out by Asto.
Great shot there by Azzo, and I think it's kind of tough here for Reminiscence to try and run this sort of dive style when there's really nobody on the enemy team to dive. If you look on the side of Hayden Overwatch team, Mercy, Lucio, D.Va, Ball, like, no one really can be dove on the side of Hayden Overwatch team. So it kind of seems questionable if Reminiscence are running this, but it's working to some extent, so there's obviously a reason why they're running it. But we'll see if they're able to keep it going. Tanic B almost dies there to the hands of DNA. It could be disastrous if this Pharah dies close to this barrage.
Here comes the D.Va bomb from the Gurgle. Gonna actually get antied. Will take down Seraph, but Glitch and Latham are gonna be immediately following, and Asdo will find the pick onto Tanic B with a headshot, and that'll just sound the end for Reminiscence in this fight, as Asto will be taken out of the straggler.
Yeah, definitely. Hayden Overwatch team pretty much causing a lot of disruption with this composition. They're sort of playing it like a spam comp in a way. They have the ball go in, cause a lot of distractions. The Tracer follows the ball. The Pharah goes for the backline. Pretty much everyone's doing a different job and trying to make sure that everybody is spread apart. So we'll see if it's able to continue. Green tried to use the pulse bomb onto, I'm guessing, Seraph or Azzo and ended up whiffing it, but we'll see what the move is here from Reminiscence. They gotta try to defend this point, but Tanic B has a barrage. It can be disastrous.
Yeah, Tanic B definitely just waiting to come up. There's the minefield, there's the beat, and it doesn't look like Tanic B is even gonna have to use the barrage, as those early kicks there from Robbie with those minefields just being caught between a rock and a hard place as the sleep onto Greeny. Gonna save Glitch it for a little bit, but not forever.
Yeah, definitely, and we just saw that spam style sort of go into play. Asdo was on the far high ground. Greeny went up to go contest Asdo, forced Asdo onto the low ground, and the rest of Hayden Overwatch team was just able to pile onto him. And from there, it was just a mess trying to get everyone together. So this sort of spam style that we're seeing from Hayden Overwatch team is working, and it's causing Reminiscence to panic a little bit. Oh, but Reminiscence starting to answer back.
Ooh, absolutely, the bomb and the. Oh my gosh. Man's playing Ring Around the Rosie. You're playing Overwatch. He's playing Ring Around the Rosie. Good job. I love that.
I mean, it distracted the D.Va enough, but still, Reminiscence able
it's
to
a
take
distraction
the fight
tactic.
Distraction. But yeah, Reminiscence did win the fight, but they did use a lot of ults, and now they switched over to the Mei here. So we'll see if it's able to make any sort of difference. You also see the brawl coming out from Hayden Overwatch team, and they're going to engage with a bomb and get DNA's mech,
Oh,
but
that's
will also force the bomb out of DNA.
DNA going to get taken down while in pilot form. Roby also going to fall. Dax gets hit with the Anthony. Blood Hungry is very low. If Blood Hungry goes down, you have no sort of linchpin for this Reminiscent squad. Eve goes down. There's the D-Mech. There's the kill on the pilot Diva. Seraph popping off now. And it looks like that'll be it for the members of Reminiscence. They're going to be able to hold there. Minute and a half left for them.
Yeah, great sustain by Reminiscence, and I think the big thing that happened is Seraph was still on the backline pretty much of Hayden Overwatch team, just pumping in the damage. No one from Hayden Overwatch team went up to contest him. The Gurgler was out of mech, and pretty much the rest of the team was focused more on Blood Hungry's Orisa. So in the end of the day, Hayden Overwatch team were at a disadvantage, and Seraph was just able to pick people up in the background. So great job from Seraph being able to get that flank. That's a massive
Oh, that's a huge wall.
Asdo.
That is a huge wall there. There comes the high noon from Seraph. Not going to be able to find any picks. Here comes the rally from Lasma. There's so many ultimates here. Roby just barely able to survive. There's a pin onto Lasma. That's huge. Taking out the rallying rig. While that rally is in progress, it's absolutely going to be a game changer now. Here comes the Blizzard from Astro, just going to be able to hit headshot after headshot. Reminiscent able to hold on. And a goodbye from Asdo.
Sends him out to the sky as well. Asdo doing his best he can to replicate a little bit of BM. You know, teabagging isn't allowed here in Tranquility, but still, we do BM in the best way possible. But now, only 30 seconds here for Hayden Overwatch team. They have a lot of ults coming into this fight, so this fight has potential to bring them over to point C, but it's going to be very close. Reminiscence have ults of their own, and they're already engaging here with the drum and the bomb.
That's a lot of ultimates that they have. There's the Diva Bomb. There is the beat, but it's DNA actually to get that first pick on the greenie. There's the high new Seraph! Seraph is just going off. And it's all coming up. Reminiscence able to bring it back. This has just been the snatch of comebacks, and the table has turned so much. I think we've just put our dinner on a top at this point.
Pretty much. Definitely a good job there from Reminiscence, and I think the big thing was that Greenie was the first to die, and he had the Deadeye. DNA was able to eliminate a big ult in the factor of Hayden Overwatch that could have contributed to their success from that Diva Bomb. So absolutely stunning play from DNA being able to eliminate that figure. Unfortunate for Hayden Overwatch team, but they were still able to push it 68.28 meters, only a little bit away from that very nice number. But now Reminiscence have a goal in sight to try and finish out Dorado and go up to match point in this series. So we'll see what they decide to do on attack. But for now, Hayden Overwatch team, they're showing the brawl on defense. So we'll see what the move is here from them.
I do want to bring up that we just actually got a raid from MC, raiding with a party of 88. So welcome to all of those guys for coming in. That's a lot of people. We're at 258 viewers right now. Wow. Yeah, we're at 258 right now. That's kind of cool. That's pretty pog. I'd say that's pog. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I would say it's totes quite poggers. But now we're gonna be seeing Reminiscence come out here on the attack. They're going to be running that brawl composition with the Rhine Diva. And looks like they're also going to be running the Zen Bap, which is very questionable, but we'll see if it's able to work here. Glitch on the Baptiste and Lastama on the Zen, but already a close hold coming out here from
on the flank. Asdo takes out Eve. Asdo coming in from behind, wreaking havoc. Asdo.
Oh my goodness.
Asdo. Good night. Oh, getting the trap.
Oh,
Asdo. Oh, live a legend, die with glory. Oh my gosh.
Oh. For those who don't know Asdo, he was the best, I believe, either hit scan or projectile DPS in Season 7 for Tranquility, and he had the largest margin of any candidate in any category. He definitely is showing his worth here today on that Junkrat, eliminating 4 out of the back line of Hayden Overwatch team and bringing the victory.
That's a huge dynamite.
Favor. Also, a massive dynamite coming out from Seraph here, trying to push Reminiscence over the line. But still, Reminiscence are pushing forward. They will lose the. They will lose.
That's a big wall. That's a huge wall there. coming out from Asdo. Who else but Asdo at this point? The Immortality Field only barely there to
Oh no!
save.
He was frozen on the shatter!
Oh my gosh! What just happened? Explain what just happened. Come on, analyst, explain what just happened.
Robbie was trying to get off a shatter, but was frozen out of it by Asdo. Asdo just making a total play, a total show, a movie, if you will, out of this performance right now. And now Reminiscence will be getting that point A. My goodness, this has been such a good point. This is pretty much the end of the point right now. This has just been amazing thus far. But now Reminiscence, they do have this first point, and they don't really want to take a close engage.
There comes the Diva Bomb. DNA quickly goes down. It's Greeny on the flank. Glitch takes down Robbie. Here comes the Deadeye from Greeny. Nothing there. Here's the B, Plasma, and the members of Reminiscence. They're going to be pushing back and pushing hard. There's the D-Mech. There's the takedown of Ducks, Greeny. All of them going to fall one after another, and Reminiscence are on a roll.
Yeah, nothing can stop Reminiscence right now. They are just going full power, step on the gas, and gas. Just go all the way right now. Reminiscence, they're pushing up to point B, and the car is even out of the first corner. They're going
doing the blizzard!
aggressive.
Oh my gosh, you realize it's not just your team has to reach the box of victory. Blood Hungry Pin! Blood Hungry Pin, Tanic be away! No way! Blood Hungry, living up to the name, and they're in spawn!
They touched the spawn doors.
They went past the spawn door. They started going towards third point spawn. Reminiscence, you're not even on second. Come on, man. Still on second.
DNA's out here playing video games on the cart while the rest of his team just goes straight to the spawn door.
No way. No way.
What is this match right now?
Ropes. No way. No. How? From the top ropes, Blood Hungry comes in like a train running off the track. Blood Hungry gets into the character.
Goodness gracious.
No, Blood Hungry.
Don't do it to him. Don't do it to him, Blood Hungry. Come on.
That's just BM. That is BM.
Oh my god. Yeah, I think
And the E mode.
I think it's safe to say that Reminiscence are a very aggressive brawl team and know this brawl very well. And
oh, gee, you think they're a little bit aggressive?
A little bit, maybe.
What gave you that idea? Could it be that they're pushing to the opponent's spawn again?
I mean, I think now it's safe to say Hayden Overwatch team will have the advantage. Greeny getting 2 in that fight. Now Reminiscence, now all down to the hands of the rest of the team, and now Reminiscence will have to reset. But still, Reminiscence just pushing the pedal to the metal. There was no stopping them. Running a race around Daytona, for crying out loud. But now Hayden Overwatch team, they have finally stabled. They have some ults in the bank. Reminiscence trying to make their mark now. They have 3 minutes and 30 seconds to push this cart a merely 11 meters, so we'll see if they're able to do it. They're taking this high ground early, and the Shatter's a whip.
There's the Deadeye. Greeny not gonna find much of anything. The Blizzard. Roby gonna be the first down. Eve gonna follow. Astro's gone, but it's not looking good. There's the Flux. Could this be the turnaround? The Gurgler send last knot to the ground with a thud. And now it's so close here, but Hayden Overwatch team holding on just barely. And now it's gonna be. I think this is gonna be close. And poor Diva.
Yeah, DNA kind of deserved this after his team decided to just be that aggressive, but still, Hayden Overwatch team, they're able to hold it out. They're keeping their composure right now. I also like what Asdo tried to do there. Flank into the back line with a Blizzard, wall up, and then Blizzard the enemy team. It looked like a good move, but unfortunately just not enough all of there. Still, Hayden Overwatch team, they're trying to come up their plan. Is Reminiscence just going to go straight for the cart? Yeah, they are. Hayden Overwatch team able to touch over. That's a Shatter.
Shatter comes in as they were dropping down. You would need to be perfect on the drop, and it was not in the cards for Hayden Overwatch team. They're not even going for the point. They have the chance to win it here. Oh, no!
Yikes.
Reminiscence! You can't just do this to people. Please! They're not gonna want to play with us anymore. Don't be mean. That's just rude.
It may be rude, but it's Reminiscence getting the second map in this series after winning Dorado. They are now at match point heading into halftime, and Seraph gets the play of the game. But really, everyone on Reminiscence showing that they are not here to play. They are willing to make this go even. They are trying to win this tournament, win the NACC, and they're trying to show their dominance early on. Play of the game, of course, Seraph getting that double Deadeye. But really, that was ridiculous. Reminiscence just never slowed down until they were literally forced to, and ended up losing 5 of their people because they went too fast. But I mean, I don't know what else we could see from Reminiscence. I think we've seen the entire package. Unless there's an expansion pack on the way, Reminiscence are showing us everything that they have in store right now.
I can't even think. I'm just watching these highlights. Just Blood Hungry, Asdo, Reminiscence are going wild. Did Blood Hungry give a tactical crouch there at the end?
Yes, but thankfully here in Tranquility, here in Tranquility it may not be allowed, but in the NACC, unless there is a rule set change, it is allowed to tactical crouch, so you could. But it's definitely going to be interesting. We do have a halftime coming up, K-Wing, and it's going to be, we've pretty much seen it all, but still we have at least one more map to show. So stay tuned, because after the halftime, we see if Reminiscence are taking the 3-0 or if Hayden Overwatch team are coming up with some sort of rebound. We'll see at the end of the break.
I'm over my head, hearts want what they want, and then it's too late. When I took the step, was I moved by lust? Was I moved by faith? The truth has a way of finding the light or changing in time.